Hello again, Standing Rock. I want to apologize for the break in making videos. This week I had to go to Denver to meet with our other tribal child support directors in Region 8. But I want to pick up where we left off. And in our last video, we talked about the importance of why we need to improve the tribal organization. So in this video, I want to talk more in depth about each point um, of my proposed plan to improve the organization, and I'll break it into two parts because I don't want to go on too much. So let's start with points 1 and 2 because they really run hand in hand. As a current director of a mid-sized program, I can say firsthand that the tribe doesn't have a strategic plan. For directing our programs collectively, I should say. There's nothing compelling us to work together, in other words. It's easy for directors to sort of sit back and do whatever it takes, obviously, to run their programs and to fulfill the goals and performance measures of their funding agencies, but we don't have that at the tribal level. So I'm proposing that we group our programs into 4 consortia, and they would be the Culture and Elders Consortium, the Economy Consortium, the Education Consortium, and the Children and Families Consortium, which we've already created. Now, I know grouping programs was unsuccessfully attempted during Chairman Murphy's administration, and I often hear or heard when we were creating the Children and Families Consortium and throwing out different ideas that we've tried this before. That I hear so often. And perhaps we did try it before, but it didn't work. So we found a way how not to do it. But that doesn't mean that we should give up. And this is a way that I think that it will work. Because I believe that the previous attempt failed because the grouping structure put political appointees at the helm, and anyone who studied organizational management can see that that's not a good model for creating buy-in within an organization as large and diverse as the tribe. So what I'm proposing in my plan is to put our own directors, employees, and community members in control. Because these already are our experts and are people with the most passion for these fields. But most importantly, we must never entertain the idea of giving up on anything. Tenacity will always win the day, I'm sure of it. Once these consortia are formed, I think that we can really leave it up to them on how they want to choose their leaders. Our Children and Families Consortium is structured with a governance committee made up of the chairs of all of the standing committees. And then the governance committee then has a president, vice president, and secretary. So once they're formed and the leadership is formed, we can work with these consortia and the tribal council to form these 5- and 10-year strategic plans that will provide the overarching direction for the work of all of our programs in achieving our collective goals as a tribe for our people. But most importantly, it will bridge that gap that we talked about in my previous video that exists between the elected and the employed. And it will provide an easier transition of power so that progress isn't dependent on who's in office. I also want these consortia leaders to serve on a cabinet that would meet with me twice a month, at least twice a month. And that would allow for the more realistic and efficient oversight of the work being done on our strategic plans. And also allow us to better monitor and assess our strategies and goals that we're trying to accomplish. And we can look at both successful and unsuccessful outcomes and be able to evaluate them and learn from them. But the most important aspect of this plan is that it better manages our resources, because we don't have a lot of resources that we can just spend them on whatever. We need to invest in what's working and stop wasting resources on what's not working. So like so many things in this world, it's very important to keep trying. until we find a way to make it work. And I think this way will work. I'm quite confident in it. And we either learn how to do things, how not to do things, or we learn how to do them better, really. So in my next video, we will talk about points 3, 4, 5, and 6 of improving the tribal organization. So thank you again for your time, Standing Rock.